In today's tutorial, we are going to draw a macaron. I'm starting off with the main brush and this pink shade, and we'll begin by drawing an oval shape. If I leave my pen down on the path I've drawn, Procreate will automatically lock the path and make it a perfect oval. I'm now just going to colour this shape in, and then swap to the water blender brush to blend out the overlap lines. Using the main brush and this darker colour, I'm going to begin to add some shadow and dimension to the top shell of the macaron. I'm now using the water blender brush to blend this out so that the lines don't look harsh. I'm creating a new layer and selecting the white colour along with the main brush to begin adding highlights to the top shell. This is going to aid in adding dimension and shape. I'm just blending this out with the water blender brush, blending in a slight circular motion to help create shape. I'm going to pinch to merge these layers together. I'm making a new layer and selecting the rough edge brush along with this pink colour. And I'm going to begin adding a jittery line along the base of the shell, with the jitters being the largest in the middle and keeping the start and ends smaller to give the illusion of depth. I'm doing this by altering the pressure used. I'm now going in with this darker colour, creating the same motion along the tops and the bottom of the jittery line. This is acting as a shadow by filling in the gaps. On a new layer, and with the white colour, I'm just going to add some small jittery highlights to this area. I'm going to merge these two layers together and swap to the rough water blender brush and very softly blend some parts of it out. I'm not blending everything, as I want to keep the integrity of the roughness and jitteriness. I'm moving back onto the main drawing layer and selecting the main brush, along with this darker shade, to add some shadow to the base of the macaron shell. I'm creating a new layer between the two layers and using this cream colour with the main brush to draw a curved line to create the filling of the macaron. Again, I'm making the centre the widest part and tapering the start and ends smaller to give a more 3D look. I've swapped to this darker cream colour, and I'm adding some shadows to the filling. I'm then going to blend this out with the water blender brush to diffuse the harsh lines. I'm using a medium pressure with back and forth strokes. I'm going in again with a darker shade and the main brush to deepen the shadows on the filling layer. I'm focusing on the bottom and sides, and will blend that out too with the water blender brush. I'm creating a new layer above and selecting the white colour with the main brush to add a touch of white highlight to the filling layer. I'm then using the wet blender to blend this out. I'm going to pinch these two layers to merge them together. On a new layer above the filling layer, I'm using the rough edge brush and the first pink colour we originally used to draw the same jittery line underneath the filling layer like we did above it. I'm swapping to a darker shade and adding the same jittery motion to the tops and bottoms to add shadow and depth. I'm creating a new layer and selecting the white colour and adding some highlights to this section. I'm going to merge those two layers together, and then, using the rough water blender, I'm going to very lightly blend parts of it together, but only doing this sporadically to maintain the roughness. I've made a new layer above the drawing layer and selected the original pink colour along with the main brush. I'm going to draw a curved shape along the bottom to create the bottom shell of the macaron. I've tapered the sides and made the middle the wider section to keep up with the same depth we have created in the previous steps. I'm using this darker colour to add in the shadows of the bottom shell. I'm now doing the same thing with an even darker colour. I'm now swapping to the water blender brush to blend these shadows out. I'm pinching all of the layers together to merge them into one. I've then created a new layer and selected the white colour with the main brush, and I'm adding in some highlights to the parts of the macaron that need some defining and shine. I'll then swap to the water blender brush and softly blend these highlights out. I'm merging the layers again, and then I'm done. And that's how you can draw a watercolor macaron.